Hey, thanks for joining me. I've been playing with mixed media, and there are several things I want to share with you, but one of the main components today is using again the Optimist inks with mixed media. So the Optimist inks, I've talked about them in a couple of other videos. These are shellac based. They're very thin. They're meant to be used on paper, but I've been exploring using them on cloth. And today I'm going to go further than the experiments that I've shown you in a couple of other videos, and I'm going to work on this mixed media piece. So let me tell you what I've got going here so far. The background, let me turn on the light. The background is a print on silk. This is, I like silk habitai, which is also known as China silk because of the detail I can get. And this is a combination, it's a gel plate print. So I inked up my big 16 by 20 plate. And first I put down this portion of a sleeve. And I just love doing this with clothing because the detail I can get. And then on this side, I did a stencil. And I was just playing around to see, oh, I don't know, just playing around. I don't think I really had any intention in mind, to tell you the truth. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this up. And the first thing I'm going to put down, oh, by the way, I have fused paper onto the surface of the silk. And this is important. I have already backed the silk with polyester craft felt. I love this craft felt. It makes it a nice stable surface. You can stitch on it. I do have a video that shows you how to fuse fabric onto this felt because I use it as a backing, even for quilts, for everything I do. So yeah, so let's just make sure we've got the order straight. So I did the gel print. I fused it onto the felt backing using Misty Fuse, which is my favorite fusible. And then I fused this paper down by putting fusible on the back of the paper and tearing it. So there's no wet glue involved here anywhere. And I like that because it means it's not going to warp. The fabric can be problematic. I know there are other substrates where a matte medium might be the glue of choice, but in any event, right now, what I'm going to do next is take the same stencil that I used when I did the pattern here, and I'm going to stencil some spackling. Now, when I talk about spackling, I'm not talking about traditional spackling that is that really heavy stuff. This is very lightweight. I usually use Fast and Final, but the last time I went to the store to buy it, I was in the wrong store. They didn't have Fast and Final, but they had this DAP, patch and paint, and it's the same thing. But you want to look for this, right? Lightweight spackling. That's really important because this is actually a kissing cousin of gel medium, meaning it's polymer based. And you use it in Texas because the walls crack all the time. So I'm going to spread it a little bit. And the way I do this with the spackling, I put if you can see the angle, I'm angling it down. This is not a 90-degree angle, okay? So I'm pulling it across the stencil like this. And my intention is not to fill in the entire stencil. My intention, I got a thread, yikes. My intention is just to get a little spackling on the surface to add some texture and to break up some of that printing. Now, one of the words that's important on this dictionary page is surrender, and I don't want to cover it up. It's right here. So I don't want to cover that because later I'm going to figure out a way to make that a more important part of the composition, because in my mind, this piece is a little bit about surrendering. All right. So you see what a beautiful raised surface. Let me just lay this aside a second. I hope you can see that that's created this beautiful textured surface that builds relationship with what's happening over here in the original stencil print that was on the gel plate. Okay, now I'm going to have to wait for that to dry before I can do anything to it. But when it is dry, I can gold leaf over that spackling. I can paint over it. There are lots of things that I could do to it. And here's the thing about it that's important. because it is that lightweight spackling that is acrylic or polymer based, it's flexible, it won't chip off, you can sand back into it later, and you can roll this up if you wanted to send it somewhere. Now, while that's drying, I've got my other idea over here. This is a heart thermofax, and this is what the design looks like, since it's hard to see the actual design on the thermofax. It's one of my favorite screens, and I'm going to print it right here, and I'm going to call this piece my heart on my sleeve. So I put the thermofax down, and then I'm going to use Payne's gray. I don't want black, it would be too stark a contrast. I could use this gray-green that's in the background, but I'm afraid that wouldn't show up. So we'll see how it goes with the Payne's gray. Now I'm using a little squeegee. These are hard to find, but we sell them on my website, and the link is down below. Don't want to do overkill with the screen. Perfect, that's exactly what I had in mind. So with these thermofaxes, you can get incredible detail, as you can see. And now I'm going to have to let this dry as well. But when this is dry, and you see the beauty of this, it looks like I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter that much, but what I love is you see the texture of the seams, but it's not like printing on an actual sleeve. If I was trying to print this thermofax on top of an actual sleeve seam, it would break it up, but this is just such a gorgeous combination this way, and I adore the Payne's gray. So let's let that dry and we'll go on to the next step. The paint is dry, so now I'm going to hand color the heart, and this is where the Optimist inks come in. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of the ink so you can see, but I'm not going to use it straight because it's pretty intense color when it's used just straight on. So instead, I'm going to add this colorless shellac medium, and that'll create more of a tint or a pastel. Yeah, either way. Choose the terminology that works for you, right? And I'm going to add a little bit of white too, because I want it to be pretty subtle. I don't want, everything else about this is so subtle. I want the coloring in the heart to be pretty subtle too. And I'm going to use a kind of a smaller tipped brush. So that's what I've got going right now. And most of the shellac ran over here. So we'll start real simply. Now, if that's too intense, I can also, well, let's just stick with the clear extender. I've also used water, and this is worth knowing. And I may just need straight extender to be as light as I want part of it to be. One thing worth knowing is that when you print with acrylic paint like this, and it goes into the fabric, it acts as a barrier. And that means that the Optimist ink will only bleed up to, if you're careful with the brush, it won't bleed outside the paint line. But most of the time, because this is that really light silk that I've demonstrated before, and it will bleed. So I want to be real careful getting along the edge here, because I don't really want it to bleed outside the heart. I just want it to bleed up to that edge. Now I have painted some other, or screen printed some other pieces of silk, like that first heart was an example. See how dark that is? It went all the way through. So I know that's created a barrier that will keep the thinner ink from bleeding outside that acrylic line. But I'm not so sure here because I love the way the Payne's gray went down, but I'm not absolutely convinced that it will act as the barrier that I want it to be as I'm continuing to add the moisture. So I have to be real careful about it. So you see I'm painting just inside the shape and letting it bleed out to the edge. See, it just bleeds. There's some patience involved in this, but hey, what? It's a virtue. All right, I'm actually really pleased with that. It's not too bright red. I mean, obviously it's not realistic, but I've got a little bit of bleeding right there, but not enough to break the bank. All right, so there you have it. This piece isn't finished yet. I'll probably come in with a little bit of this paint and rub it over the spackling, kind of burnish it in once it's dry, just to kind of meld it into the background. And then I'm thinking about some stitching to make surrender. Maybe you can't see it, the word surrender more pronounced. And then I'm actually thinking of adding some stitched, just a couple of little stitched vines that will come out of the arteries and veins on my heart. And then I'll frame it, trim it off. And at this point, I'm pretty pleased. So just to recap, gel print on silk fused to the felt. A little bit of paper mixed media work over here with the spackling. Screen printed or thermofax printed more accurately my heart design, and then filled it in with the Optimist ink. So you can see how the Optimist ink can play a really valuable role here. This is an effect I could not get if I was using acrylic paint. Even if it was thinned, it might have more of a tendency to bleed on this fabric. And keep in mind that if you create a shape using acrylic paint, you can fill it in with the Optimist ink because the inks will bleed up to that acrylic sort of boundary that you've printed and then just stop. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please like it and consider subscribing to my channel. And if you're interested in the Optimist inks, there is a link down below, and I hope you will click on that link because it gives me just a small percentage of the sale, and that helps keep these experiments and these videos going so that we can all continue to learn together. Thanks for being here today. I really appreciate it.